Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of my channel, SQL Interview Preparation. In this series, we will be focusing more on the practical aspects of SQL. We'll be solving a lot of SQL problems as well as know a bit of theory which is required to solve every problem. So let's start. Uh, so what is SQL? SQL is a programming language which is used to manipulate the relational databases. It provides us a way to interact with database and we can perform operations like querying the data. We can insert data, we can update the data, and we can also delete the data. Uh, so how to create tables? We can only store data by starting with creating a table, creating what to store in the table. So we provide a schema. So let's start with it. You need to write create table, and then you need to write a table name, and then the columns you require. So suppose let me take students data. I need to create a table which stores students ID, students name, students age, and students address. So this can be stored by using create table student name and create table students, and then you give the ID, name, and the address and the age. You can also write the data type you require. Suppose the ID obviously will be in integer, so you give it as int. For name you can give varchar, for address you can give varchar as well, and for age you can give int. And then how to delete a table? We can delete a table by using the command drop table name. Then your whole table will be deleted. If you don't want a table, you can delete it in this way. Then comes select statement. Select is used to select of particular columns which are required from the table to be seen. You can not only give particular columns, you can also select all the columns by using select star from select asterisk from the table name. So let's start with the schema. It goes like select column names, column name 1, column name 2, multiple columns, whatever you require from the table. Then comes your where clause. Where clause is used to filter out a few columns. When suppose we require only particular columns, not particular rows of a column, then we can use where clause. So let's select, suppose we need students tables, few columns like ID and name, or name and age you take. So we can use select name comma age from students where. You can ask for conditions like where your age is lesser than 10, age is greater than 10. Suppose we need something like age greater than 10, then we write where age greater than 10. Then we get all the rows related to students whose age is greater than 10. So this is the use of where condition. It's a boon. You can use it many ways, and you can filter out at most. You can filter out as many things as possible. So now let's jump into Leetcode and let's solve a few questions by the concept we have learned so far. So this is the first question: recyclable low fat products. So this is the table schema given. There's product ID, low fat column, and recyclable column, and they're of type int, enum, and num. So and we are told that product ID is the primary key, and low fat and recyclable are enum of types y or no, n, where y means yes and n means no. So we need to write a SQL query to find out the IDs that are both low fat and recyclable, which means both are YY. You get it? So let's start with the query. So select product ID from products where low fat is equal to Y and recyclable is equal to Y. So this select statement is used to select only that particular column called product ID, because they have asked only for the IDs of the products. So select product ID from products where low fat is equal to, as this is a string, you need to give two quotations over there, and then you write y, and we use an and condition over there to tell that there is another where filtering out condition. So this was quite a simple query, and this will help you build your basics. Let's jump on to the second question, which is big countries. So this is the columns and these are the types, and here it's given that name is your primary key, and each row gives you an information about the country, the continent it belongs to, the area, the population, and its GDP. So we need to find big countries. A country is big only if these conditions are satisfied, which is it has an area which is of at least 3 million, or it has a population of at least 25 million. So we need to write a query to report the name, population, and area of the big countries. So this can be started by give us select the name, population, as they have asked for name, population, and area. We are selecting those three columns, and from the table name where there were two conditions given, right? A country is big only if it has an area of at least 3 million, or it has a population of at least 25 million. So let's use these conditions where area, there's an area column, and we need to give it greater than or equal to 30 million, 3 million, I'm sorry. And there is an or condition given, so it should satisfy either this or the other column. So we give an or even in the where statement as well, where area is greater than or equal to 3 million, and the population is greater than 25 million. Only then we can code that it is a big country. So this was also a simple question. Okay, let's jump to the next question, which is called find customer referee. So we have ID, name, and referee ID, where ID is a primary key, and each row of this table indicates the ID of that customer and the ID of the customer who has referred them. So now what they need us to do is they need us to report the name of the customer that are not referred by the customer with an ID too. So they don't want us to print those columns where those rows where the customer's referee ID is 2, and they also want us to return it in any order. They don't have any issue with us returning it in any order. So let's jump into the question, the solution. So select that name from the customer where the referee ID is as you see this greater than and lesser than symbol, it signifies that it is either greater than 2 or lesser than 2. Okay, so that indirectly means not equal to 2. Okay, and we also don't want referee ID to be null. As you can see the input column, you do get idea, right? Why would I need those columns? Okay, so now we also need to mention that the referee ID is null, or else it won't give us the rows which have the referee ID null. This was also a good question. Let's move further. This is the next question called article views. So here we are given column names, article ID, author ID, viewer ID, view data, which are of type int and date respectively. There is no primary key in this table. They may have duplicates. Okay, each row of this table indicates that some viewer viewed an article on some date, and note that that equal author ID and viewer ID indicates one and the same person. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to write an article to find all the authors that have viewed at least one of their own articles. Okay, one author has viewed his own article. We need to find them who has viewed at least one of or more of their articles. So we need to return it in an ascending order. So we start with select distinct author ID, as it may repeat, as they have said that there can be duplicates. So I need only distinct author IDs. I don't want same author ID to repeat 2-3 times. So I write select distinct author ID, and this as ID, as you see here, is an alias name, or else it would print the whole distinct author ID. So we need it as ID, as in the output they have shown that they need only ID, and we need to take it from views table, where the author ID is equal to viewer ID, and we need to order it by ID. Order by is used to order by your by the column name you have given. By default it is ascending order. You can also use descending order by writing DESC after the column name. So this was a very good question to give you introduction to distinct and order by. Distinct is used only, distinct as the name suggests means different, unique, and we need only unique author IDs. We don't want it to repeat, so we have used distinct over here, and they have asked us to print it in an ascending order, so we have used order by. Very nice question. Let's go to the next. So the next question is invalid tweets, and let's start with it. The question is, here are the columns given, which is tweet ID and content, and tweet ID is the primary key. This table contains all the tweets from a social media app, and now what we need to do is we need to find the IDs that of invalid tweets. The tweet is invalid if the number of characters used in the content is strictly greater than, equal than 15. We need to return it. We can return it in any order. So we start with the select, and they have asked for the ID, so tweet ID from the table name they've given us, which is tweets, and now they have asked us to get all of the invalid tweets, right? So the length of the content is greater than 15, then it's invalid, so we can give that. So we write where length of the content is greater than 15. This returns us all the IDs whose tweets are greater than 15. And there is a new concept here called length. So length is a function used to find out the length of the string given, the varchar given over here. And I think these 5 questions are good starters to SQL interview prep. I hope you understood each and every one of these. If you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.